It's just you by yourself.
Good morning from Grandview. I have to wait for it to come.
David Hoff in the flesh, people. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, I gotta pull my shirt down.
And we want to look good. Here, let's pull it in a little closer. We can get the room. There, does that look good? Yeah, cool. It's okay. You don't have to watch. You get right here.
I have to type though.
Oh, you have to say hello?
Yes.
Make sure to say hello, everyone. Oh, good. I see he's logged in. He's right there. I can see him on my screen. All right. I told him he had nothing to be afraid of because Saturdays are always the least watch days. And then half the women who normally watch are at the retreat. So, I mean, it's win-win.
Yeah,
You can turn it off now, though. I can hear my voice there.
Oh, okay.
We got this figured out. All right. He asked me what he was going to do, and I told him I had no idea, but I never know what I'm doing, so it's okay. It's okay then. Here, look at all my notes. You see all these things I have written down here? This is what guides me. It's like chicken scratch, but it's something. So Revelation 21, and we'll get a few verses in today, and I'll have him do the Greek and the historical, contextual, grammatical part, and I will just I'll do the reading, and then we'll be set. It says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no more sea. Ooh. I have Bible verses written down, so let's check this out. Psalm 102. Psalm 102, verses 25 and 26. You don't have to know what you're talking about when you got enough Bible verses written down. Let's see here. Psalm 102. Of old you laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you will endure. Yes, they will grow old like a garment, like a cloak. You will change them, and they will be changed. And so, yeah, we see through the entire Old Testament that there's promises of God changing the world, and that the world will one day pass away. Isaiah 65, right there at the bitter end, second to last chapter. Isaiah 65, verses 17 and 18, it says, For behold, I created new heavens and a new earth, for the former shall not be remembered or come to mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in what I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem as rejoicing, and her people joy. Does it say, the voice of weeping shall no longer be heard in her? I don't even have that as one of my references, but that'll be coming up here in a few verses. No more weeping, which is going to be an awesome deal. So here's the thing. We got a few things we've kind of created. Notice it says a new heavens, and I don't know, just for the teaching moment, right? The Bible talks about 3 different heavens. What's one of them, Dad? The real heaven. That's the third heaven. It has nothing to do with Mormonism and trying to get to some weird level of heaven, but there's heaven. And when God created the earth, with the Jews, Hebrew was quite a pretty simple language. A lot of the other meanings of words have to do with context. So there's the earth, and then there's the heavens around the earth. Birds fly in the heavens. And then the stars were placed in the heavens above the heavens. And that's the literal wording we see sometimes, is heaven above the heavens. And then we have the third heaven, which would be the actual heavenly place where God is. So he's creating a new heavens and earth. Earth singular, heavens in the plural. And it talks about the former shall not be remembered or come to mind. And I think that's a better understanding, because when we talk about, there'll be no more tears, no more stuff. And the analogy I gave yesterday of a baby being born, that's quite a traumatic situation in the moment. Birth giving is quite hard on the mom. But when the baby's born, at least for a moment there, you don't remember everything else that was coming up to that point. It's just kind of boom, there's the baby. And all of a sudden, everything else passes away. And that's the idea in heaven, is joy unspeakable. It's that there's going to be so much joy and so much beauty, and that there's going to be no remembering the old stuff, because what is before you is going to be so amazing and so captivating that all the old stuff passes away. It says there's no more sea. Now, Revelation 22:2. That's over here. In the middle of the street and on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore the 12 fruits. So it speaks of the river. So here's what we know. There should be no more sea in the new earth, but there's going to be a river. Now, I honestly wonder, large lakes, no sea. Right now, the earth is 71% water. That's what I have written down right there, 71% H2O. And so I think the idea is the new heaven, new earths, that it's supposed to be populated by people. And many scholars think that back in Genesis, with the original creation, you don't know if you're supposed to watch here or here. I know, right? I don't know if I'm supposed to look at my dad or look at you guys. If he's rude, if I ignore him the entire time, but then I'm ignoring all you. But that the Garden of Eden, that the pre-flood earth would have been more land than water. We know there was water, but a lot of the biblical scientists, I'm just going to call them that, not creation scientists, biblical scientists, they believe the world would have been mostly covered with land because it was meant to be inhabited and primarily by man, right? The chief of God's creation. And so there was obviously seas, and this is no more sea here. So it's going to be hard. And this is where I always talk about is that we get glimpses of what heaven's going to look like. Part of me feels like there should still be animals. There's horses. He rides back on horses. And we know that there's cats because there's harps. So then we know that there's got to be, you get the harp joke? Anyone? No, okay. Anyway, so, but what the world's going to look like, the new earth, it's something we only have glimpses of. And this is not millennial kingdom. And that's where things get confusing because in the Old Testament, when they paint pictures of the millennial kingdom, I think oftentimes people attribute that to heaven. But once again, when you see mention of like nations, that's when you go, there won't be nations in heaven. And so that verse that sounds heavenly is actually a picture of the beautiful and heaven-like, I mean, it's not heaven, but a beautiful new restored earth in that millennial reign. So it says there's new heaven, new earth, no more sea. And then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. He shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God. I'm going to save the next verse for Monday because it's good stuff and well worth us spending an entire morning on. But I got some other good cross-references for us here. Thank you. He's a cup holder. This is awesome. 1 Corinthians 2:9. Oh, yes. What is this new heavens and new earth going to be like? What is the new Jerusalem going to be like? I have not seen, right? But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, nor entered into the heart of men the things which God has prepared for those who love him. And what is that? That is Isaiah 64:4, 65:17. And that's the idea, like I was just saying, that's actually, there's a better commentary than what I was just saying, is that we cannot quite fathom what this new heavens and earth is going to be like. And that's the idea. It says, eye hasn't seen, ears haven't heard, it hasn't even entered into the heart of the man, the things which God has prepared for those who love him. And so whatever you think God has prepared for you, whatever you think the peace, the rest, the reward of our faithfulness here on earth, you can't even begin to imagine the depths of what God has prepared for you. And that's the beautiful thing, is that it's just, God has got a plan, and it's beyond what you can fathom. And so we read about the tabernacle of God, or the tabernacle of God is with men. I want to check out these last few verses. Leviticus 26:11 and 12. Got lots of cool cross references. Makes my job easy. Leviticus 26:11 and 12. It says, I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not abhor you. I will walk among you and be your God, and you will be my people. Zechariah 2:10. Further. This Old Testament is real big. Too far. Habakkuk, further. Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah. 2:10, it says, Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for behold, I am coming and I will dwell in your midst, says the Lord. And he'll dwell in our midst during the millennium as well. You think of when God was walking in the mist, the cool of the day with Adam and Eve. And then John 1:1 and verse 14, I guess, is, in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. Verse 14, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. And so the idea is that Jesus will be with us. We'll have the Word of God tabernacling, and that Word in in John 1, got my 1 and my John mixed up. John 1, verse 14, and the Word became flesh and dwelt among us. That word dwelt is the word for tabernacle. So if you look at the Septuagint, the LXX, the Greek Old Testament, that's that word tabernacle, is the word he dwelt among us, that he came and Jesus put on that tent. And Paul talks about us and our bodies being like a tent in 1 Corinthians 15, I think, where that's what we've got on, a temporary dwelling. And so Jesus comes, he puts on a body of a man, or the word became flesh. He's always been who he is. And he dwelt among us. They shall be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. And so that's, again, that glory we're waiting for, is to be with God. And yes, Monday we'll get to the wiping away every tear, no death, sorrow, crying, no pain. It's going to be amazing. And so, I'm just going to flip back, and we're going to read it one more time as we wrap up today, and I'm going to head off to men's breakfast with my pops. 1 Corinthians 2:9, probably a good verse that we all should commit to memory. As it is written, eye has not seen, nor ear heard, nor have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for those who love him. So, the great and simple application: do you love God? And if you love God, then just know you cannot in this life fathom the beautiful things he has awaiting for you. So there we go. God bless you guys. We're off to men's breakfast.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. Thanks for making me. They're all really, you guys owe him big time. And he didn't kill me when he should have. We made it through alive. So, hey, I'll see you guys Monday morning. Go to church on Sunday. It's good for you. Go to church. Find a church local if you don't have one. If you're in the Lower Valley, come visit us. So, love you guys, and take care. This is where you gotta wave. You see, they say. Judah's watching on the baby monitor. See you guys. Oh, didn't click it.